know, because you said something about PDP, I know there was a time you were in the G5, and that G5 actually supported the president. What happened concerning your relationship between the president and your friend, Nyesom Wike? What happened? Because at some point everybody thought it was all rosy, and then now we went haywire.
Okay, presidency should come to the south. And within my party, Wike was contesting. I supported him. He lost at the primaries. And then Waziri, former vice president, won from the north against, you know, what we were thinking. But I said, look, if our party has selected somebody from the north, you know, then we should sit down and decide, you know, how is this thing going to work? He came to Ibadan. We were at Ogunlesi Hall out there, and we mentioned to him that, look, you are the candidate of the party. You're from the northeast. Your chair, are you the candidate, the national chairman of the party from North Central? And in that meeting, we were facing the press. I didn't tell him this, you know, in the conference of the government house. No, I said, look, this is Governor Tambuwa. As of that time, he was the chairman of PDP Governors Forum. I said intelligence indicated that you will appoint him as the DG of this campaign. He's from the Northwest. So what are we supposed to use to, you know, campaign, convince people? Because politics is a game of numbers. So we couldn't reach any agreement. We met with him in London, and we said, look, for me, the only thing I said to him in London was, allow us to go and remove Iyoche Ayu, and then make Arapaja, you know, the acting chairman, because he was deputy national chairman, South, at that time. Make Arapaja the chairman. He will be at the table when you're all talking and deciding. So in London, I said, just agree with us there and then to go and remove Ayu. How we do it, don't even bother about it. He said, well, we should give him 1 week. He came back to Nigeria, and then the famous statement that, well, these small boys will have moved on. Okay, so if you've moved on, what will I do? We have to do something. That is politics. And it wasn't Wike that guaranteed the president before me, because I never dealt with them. I've never had any political dealings with them up until that point. Someone else did. I said, okay, fine. If this is what we will do, we'll support you. But even as a candidate, I must have mentioned it more than maybe 3-4 times, that our expectation would be a government of national unity, a government of national competence, where you can start the process of resetting this country. But is it what we are seeing right now? Is it a government of national competence? Is it a government of national unity? The answer is no. When the president said, look, nominate somebody who may be appointed as a minister, I said, sir, what position do you want to give to us? Then he said, I'm looking for a developmental economist who can be the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning. I said, okay, I will look for somebody that fits that bill. And I sent somebody's name, who is Oyo State indigene, and I sent it to him. The individual was in selected. Rather, they selected the current Minister of Power. He wasn't taken to Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. He was taken to Ministry of Power. A subsequent meeting with the president, he said, Seyi, I think I must have gone to him to seek for approval for the upgrade of Ibadan Airport. He said, I'll sign it for you. I'll give my nod. But oh, sit down. What's happening politically? I heard you're upset because you were not your nominee was not given the ministerial slot. I said, sir, in Yoruba land, if you don't want the pregnancy to be aborted, you won't want the baby to die. Because it's easier to abort a pregnancy than, to kill a baby. I said, you will decide at the end of the day, who you want to work with. We can only suggest people. But if you know people that fit, your bill about the kind of individual you want in your cabinet, we are just to support you. However, let me say this. If you've selected the Minister of Power because you want him to help you organize APC in Oyo State, he doesn't have the capacity. I told the president. He said, no, Seyi, it's you that I want to help me organize APC in Oyo State. I said, no, sir, I can never help you organize APC in Oyo State because I am of the PDP. So, if we have a government of national unity, a government of national competence, we will have been in a very different environment right now. And let me just mention again this issue of Wike. This.
Your friend.
Huh?
Your friend Wike.
My friend Wike. Okay. So this was the exact first contract that Mobile gave to Macon. I was 29. It was $1 million. Within that 1 year, I made $1 million in my pocket. I was 29. 1997. Wike perhaps at that time just left. He just left law school, and then his next job after that was local government chairman. And the trajectory was, I don't beef anybody. But the real issue is that I was in a meeting with the president and Wike. And I'm saying this, in an open chat. The president's chief of staff was also in that meeting, and a few others. And Wike said to the president that, well, sir, I will hold PDP for you, against 2027. I was in shock. So we got up, we got to the veranda. I said, Wike, did we agree to this? I don't like talking about people, and I will not talk about people or talk about events. But I'll talk about the real issue. The real issue is that Wike would like to support the president for 2027. That's fine. It is within his right to do that. But also some of us that want to, ensure that democracy survives in Nigeria. We don't drift into a one-party state, and we want to ensure that PDP survives. It should also allow us to do our own thing. That is just the issue between me and Wike. And I confided in a mutual friend of us after that meeting. And I kept thinking, okay, I mean, the president did not ask him, do this for me. He was the one that volunteered that I will do that. So when I was telling our mutual friend, I said, look, maybe he was talking about an errand that the president never sent him. So let's watch, let's engage him. Let's see if he will back off. But he never did. So after he didn't back off, I said, well, now it's time to confront him. Because I told him from that day that I will never be a part of this. And that is why I will not be supporting the president for 2027. Wike can support him, he's within his right, but also it is within my own right to decide within the political space who I will support or what I will do in 2027.
Yeah, Your Excellency, now we understand the real reason why there is a conflict in the PDP. Now the party is divided along two lines. The one being led by Saminu Turaki, is claiming that it is the rightful one, and I remember that INEC called the two parties to a meeting. Now, with the way PDP is currently, does the party stand any chance? Number one, in the forthcoming off-season elections, and in 2027, does the party stand a chance? Because Nigeria needs a credible opposition now to withstand the what is going on, because you yourself mentioned it that the country is fast moving towards a one-party state. Does PDP have any chance?
Well, the president has the power to call his minister to order. He said, look, allow democracy to survive in Nigeria. And by the way PDP is today, there is no faction in PDP. We held a convention here in Ibadan. We gave adequate notice to INEC, which is all that we're required to do under the law. So, it may take INEC some time if they choose, to behave like the ostrich, bury their head and the whole of their body is outside. And the current INEC chairman, the job is even very difficult to start with. Now to add all of these things that they're not supposed to add. They basically, this meeting that you said they called the two factions together, they played our people. They invited them and said, we want to engage with the leadership of PDP. And then they got there and found out that they called the Anyanwu and Co. I said, that's even silly to start with. I mean, pardon my language. Sometimes when I get upset, I can speak off. No. So let me finish with Shina. So, why did they not call Damagun? Maybe it was Anyanwu that was the secretary when Damagun was there.
Chairman.
Yes. And the notice that went to INEC was a notice signed by both Damagun and Anyanwu. I wanted to basically, ask that they expel Anyanwu at a neck. But people, leaders came and said, look, let us not do that. Let's get the two of them together, and all of that. So The Supreme Court already said whoever is your secretary is the internal affair of the party. There's a Supreme Court judgment on SDP how many days ago saying exactly the same thing. So we had a proper convention here, and Wike and the rest of those people were expelled, and they've been expelled. Even if the court says, look, the convention is not valid, which I don't think is possible, because up to the Supreme Court already said, look, internal affairs of the party is internal affairs of the party. So they can only delay things. But there may be unintended consequences for, trying to kill PDP. There's a danger that if you do that, you may, unknowingly, kill democracy in this country, God forbid. So that is my own position.
Yeah, Mr. Governor, it's interesting what you just revealed now. A lot of people were not privy to that information in terms of your position and what former Governor Wike, now Honorable Minister of FCT, had said in your presence to the President. Now, we're in Ibadan, and the Yoruba side of me comes to play, that there's this saying, if you translate into English, how do you put it, when your neighbor begins to eat cockroach during the day,
yes,
if you don't want him, you will not get any sleep. Yes. That's exactly what has happened to your political party that we've got its flag right behind you, PDP. You were there, one of the 5 wearing Ashebi,
yes,
with Wike and Autumn and the others.
Yes.
And you all celebrated the fact that this action you're taking will bring in a candidate of another political party. And in doing that, that has roller coastered into a situation where PDP was not just decimated. We're seeing governors moving out in droves to go to the party that you supported, their candidate to become the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Yes.
Now that the chicken have come home to roost, yes, and the entire party, you can say, is still one, there are no factions. Mm-hmm. Minister Wike is saying, I have a faction. You're saying
I'm giving you
no
the reason
yes,
why he's doing what he's doing.
Yes, but you're saying there's no other faction. So some young people, New Central, we have a lot of young people in our organization. More than 60% of our members of staff are below 35, they're youths. And I also spend time with young people online. The question they've been asking for the last couple of years is, isn't the governor of Oyo State and those who used to be part of the G-5, are they not embarrassed that they have created this PDP that they now see that is sinking? How do you respond to them? What do you say to these young people? Well, because they just feel so sad that the only opposition is in this situation.
Okay. Good governance, sustainable development, it's all about a journey, of the people. And I said it earlier, I can make mistakes. I'm human. I supported the current president, even though in another party at that time, because I thought, even though I never dealt directly with them, I thought we'll do what is right for the country, research the country, like I said, bring people from, all over that can help the country. But unfortunately, that is not what we're seeing. So I regret that action. Yes, I do. I mean, if people say, look, why are you you know, what is it that you've done? Well, I'm not above mistake. Even up until this moment, I say to people, because people have been calling me, say, look, Seyi, you can take the approach of, you know, sit down, look, just keep yourself and then let this wave go away. And, you know, they even said to the extent that, look, by the time you will be done with your position as governor of Oyo State, you will be 59. Even if you wait for 8 years, you'll be 67. You can contest if you want to contest. And I said, look, what are we afraid of? Is it death? If you're afraid of death, will that stop you from dying? What can it do to you? If you're afraid of death, what it can do to you is it won't allow you to live your life freely. So we're not going to do that. I'm not afraid to say my mind. I'm not afraid to apologize to people if I wrong them, because it's only God that is all-knowing, that knows the end, you know, from the beginning. I am not, maybe people may think because I was born on Christmas Day, you know, they may think, you know, maybe I know too much. No.
So, Mr. Governor, having admitted that you regret your actions then,
Yes.
you seem to be trying to correct what happened then. And to the elephant in the room, let's speak to the real issue. Are you then planning to take the bull by the horn, run for president in 2027?
Well, thank you, Khaled. Well, I've had that also, you know, people saying, oh, is Seyi trying to position himself for 2027 presidency? Let me make this very clear. To serve this country at the highest level, I am qualified. I'm even overqualified. I've run Oyo State. Even the current president, what brought him to the table? He was governor of Lagos State. Oh. 2 times. By the end of May 2027, by God's grace, God sparing my life, I will have been to the end of the tenure as a 2-time governor of Oyo State. So what are we talking? Professionally, I ran a company from a very young age, at 29. Some of my colleagues were just, some are still finishing their youth service at that point. I ran the company, and people can go out there and check. I did not go to NMPC, you know, or the likes. No, I was working for multinational oil companies. I worked for Shell, ExxonMobil, Chevron. To the extent that when I go on holiday to my house in Houston, ExxonMobil came to me and said, look, we want to work in your neighborhood. We have work to do in Chad and Cameroon, on the Chad-Cameroon pipeline project. I personally, I was in Kribi, where they positioned the FSO. I sent engineers to Chad. I sent engineers to Cameroon. You can't go there because you're Nigerian. No, you can only go there because professionally they have trust in you. I worked on the West African gas pipeline. ABB came to us and said, look, from Lagos, you know, to Tema in Ghana. I was in Tema myself because when I started, during the day, I'm working as a field engineer. At night, I'm working as the general manager. I couldn't even tell people on my card then, I couldn't tell them, look, I own the company, because they look at me and say, you own which company? You know? So I sent engineers to Equatorial Guinea. We worked on the Equatorial Guinea LNG. So all of those things were because professionally we did what was right. I could have joined politics in 1998 because I made enough money to do that. But I won't tell you I'm a foundation member of PDP. No. I joined PDP in 2002. And why did I join? I joined solely because of Babala Doja. I joined to support him towards the 2003 elections. I already moved my family to the US there in the year 2000. Well, okay. I had a wife and a daughter at that time. We had the second one, December of 2000. And I moved my office from Port Harcourt to Lagos. So most weekends, no family, nothing. So I come to Ibadan to meet my parents. One thing led to the other. From that place, I commissioned the classroom block that I gave to my alma mater. They brought Governor Lamadeshina, to do the commissioning at that time. And I gave him a proposal that, look, for the farm settlements here, this is a power solution. And he said, okay, look, my assistant will call you. I waited, nobody called me. So going towards 2003, I thought, look, if you look for a professional, to be elected as the governor of Oyo State, maybe things may be one shade better. Okay, well, let me be very clear. At this point, you need to have a party. You need to have a competitive political environment. At Ebonyi, I said to the Igbo nation out there that in 1999, we were going to have a almost very similar situation that we're in today. All the generals, all the elites, they were all gravitating towards PDP. Until Ogbonnaya Onu gave up his presidential ticket in APP to have APP and AD join together, and they produced Baba Falaye and Shinkafi. And the environment became instantly competitive. So I'm not fixated on running or not running.
But if the PDP is right and well placed.
Right now, if I correctly calibrate the environment, we have to go beyond its PDP. We have to channel our energy towards having a competitive political environment.
Okay.
And that means we need to talk across board. We need to start talking about survival of democracy in Nigeria. Individual ambition, it's tertiary, not even secondary. So it's we should keep talking, even with people within APC that are not happy in there. We will talk to them also. We should all keep talking on, because we run the risk of the Arab Spring. You have people without leadership. A shoemaker will be made a leader for them, and they will show us. In fact, people should write it down. What Nigerian people will show politicians and elites in 2027, we cannot imagine it right now. And when they say governors have defected and all of that, what of hunger? Where is hunger? And anger in the land, has it defected? So,
okay, Governor.
Sorry, Dr. Abati. Let me tell
take a short break.
Let me tell Kayode. You see, if we don't do what is right for democracy to survive in Nigeria, it will be, very difficult in the foreseeable future. So that's really. So the issue of are you running, are you not running, and things like that. That is it's still far off. At this stage, we must ensure a competitive political environment.